One day in a land far, far away, the weather was much hotter than usual. The flowers planted by the villagers were wilting due to the heat. The animals were getting tired faster, and the king's guardians were sweating non-stop in their clothes.
Ugh, today is hotter than yesterday. We're perished in these clothes.
Neither the king and his soldiers nor the villagers could understand the reason for the increasing temperature day by day. A young girl named Maria was very upset when she saw the rotting crops in her field.
If it goes on like this, all my vegetables will dry up. This heat needs to stop immediately.
Maria went before the king and complained about the heat in the air and talked about the drying up of the fields. The king commissioned one of his knights to find the cause of the heat. The young knight set out on the mountain slope with a big courage. Finally, he saw a dragon in the 7th cave of the mountain with 7 caves. The dragon was constantly spewing fire with his breath, and he never did shut his mouth. When the knight realized that the heat was coming from this dragon, he started running towards the dragon with his sword to stop him. However, seeing this, the dragon threw the knight back to the village with one breath. And continued to spew fire with his mouth over the village. The knight passed through the villagers in armor blackened by fire. Maria and the other villagers were very sad with the knight's condition. The knight, on the other hand, went before the king and told all that had happened.
My king, an angry dragon is constantly spewing fire over our village. That's why the temperature is rising. A dragon? Yes, look what dragon's fire has done to my armor.
The king could not believe what he heard. For several days, he locked himself in his room and thought about how they could defeat the dragon. Then he called his herald and gave him a task. The herald gathered the villagers around him and announced the king's will.
The temperature in our village is because of the dragon living in the 7th cave of the mountain with 7 caves. This dragon is very powerful and constantly spews fire. Our king has announced that he will give 100 gold to anyone who can hunt this dragon.
Hearing what the herald said, the villagers were terrified. Each of them took a step back and started to return to their homes. However, just at that moment, the young farmer Maria stepped forward with great courage.
I can hunt the dragon.
What? You're just a girl digging a field. We need strong and mighty male warriors. Isn't there among you?
You can't do this, Maria.
Maria, no! Dragon hunting is not for you!
Everywhere was silence. Despite the king's award, no one but Maria stepped forward.
I am a hard-working girl who has animals and a field. I'm ready to do my best to end this heat. Otherwise, my and all the village people's efforts will be destroyed.
Neither the herald nor the villagers paid attention to Maria's words. Nevertheless, the next day, Maria took her bow and arrow and set off. It was even hotter that day than any other day. Moreover, it was not easy to climb the mountain with 7 caves. Along the way, Maria was constantly sweating and drinking water.
I am so tired, but I have to move forward. Come on, Maria. Only 2 caves to the goal. You can make it.
After a while, Maria reached the 6th cave of the mountain with 7 caves. She saw that all the purple flowers that were growing here specifically faded.
Even the unique purple flowers are all wilted. I will definitely hunt that dragon.
Maria had barely climbed to reach the mountain's 7th cave. It was so hot in here that Maria almost melted away. Finally, the fire-breathing dragon appeared.
Here you are, dragon. I'm not afraid of you.
Maria tried to get a few steps closer to the dragon, hiding behind the stones. But the dragon didn't stop. He kept breathing fire. Maria barely survived. Still, she didn't stop. She got a little closer to her target. It was at that moment that she heard a strange sound from the dragon.
Huh? This dragon, is he crying or?
When Maria went around the dragon's back, she noticed that he was tangled in a thorn ivy.
No way! It's so scary! That's why you keep screaming and spewing fire. Poor dragon.
She pulled out the thorn ivy, although it was difficult.
Ah! Ow! Even one of these thorns hurts my hand so much. Ouch! Oh, who knows how it hurts the dragon?
Meanwhile, the dragon suddenly turned his face towards Maria. He looked at her with an angry look and was about to burst into fire when Maria showed the thorn ivy she had untied. When the dragon realized that he had gotten rid of the thorns, he was very happy and thanked Maria. Then he put her on his back and started flying in the sky. The villagers were very happy when they felt the temperature had returned to normal. When they looked at the sky, they saw Maria flying bravely on top of the dragon. This is Maria! Look! Wow! Oh, Maria, she is so brave!
Wow! Unbelievable!
Wow,
Amazing! Maria, she has indeed succeeded.
The next morning, Maria appeared before the king and told how she saved the dragon. With this courage and benevolence she showed, she became the only girl in the kingdom to be knighted. From that day on, the dragon legend of the brave knight Maria has been told for centuries to children who once worked in the fields just like her.
One day, when the forest was shining brightly, little Cheppy and her friend Teddy Bear were trying to blow leaves around on the ground.
Oh, I won! I won! Oh, wait a minute, my bear friend. Our leaves flew side by side and landed in the same place. Look!
Ah, yes! Well, then we both won?
Yes! 2-2!
Cheppy loved to spend time with her bear friend. Whenever they were hungry, they would go to her parents and eat wonderful forest fruits together, because Cheppy's family has lived together with animals in this forest for centuries. So much so that even their neighbors were a giraffe and a lion. On one of the tree-hugging days, little Cheppy went for a stroll in the forest. She heard a strange crying sound while she was hugging every tree she saw, big or small. She walked carefully, listening to where the sound was coming from, and finally saw a child crying.
Ho! I brought you the greetings of the forest and the wind. Huh? Who are you? What does ho mean? All here is my home, and this is how we greet. Ho! You live in the forest? Yes, my name is Cheppy. So what's your name? Coco. But I don't like my name at all. Coco? How beautiful! Coco means starry nights in our forest language. Really? Of course. My name also comes from a fairy with sparkly wings. Listen, fairy with glittering wings. I'm lost here. I was on a forest trip with my family, but now I can't find them. I'm sure they're looking for me everywhere. Can you help me? Walkie Gookie. What? I mean, of course. Of course I will help. No one knows this forest better than me.
Cheppy and Coco started walking through the dense forest.
How do you walk without shoes? Don't your feet hurt? Shoe? What is that? Like mine, look. So that you don't get thorns in your feet. Aha! You're talking about paca-pacas. We, the forest family, do not wear paca-pacas on the tree-hugging days because our feet are the Earth's best friends.
Coco was very impressed with the life of his new friend. Just like Cheppy, he started walking by hugging the trees. However, after a while, a black panther appeared before them.
Ah! It is a panther! Let's run!
While Coco was trying to climb the tree in fear, Cheppy was giggling in front of him.
What are you waiting for, Cheppy? Run away or she'll catch you!
Cheppy calmly went to the panther. Speaking in a whisper, she hugged the panther and then got on her back. Coco couldn't believe what he saw.
Panther Muna will help us, Coco. We'll find your family quicker if we act together.
Coco approached the panther Muna with cowardly steps. Muna kissed Coco's cheek. When you want to stop, just shout Pakuna. Cheppy and Coco were moving so fast on the panther's back that the ball bugs they passed were affected by their wind and turned upside down. Cheppy's keen ears heard a melody as Panther Muna was speeding along the ivy-filled forest path.
I heard a Fi-Fi. We better slow down. Pakuna!
Panther Muna stopped slowly.
What does Fi-Fi mean? Shh. Fi-Fi means melody in forest language.
While Cheppy and Coco were walking silently, they saw a giant bear appeared before them.
This. Yes, a bear. No, this is my harmonica. A harmonica? What is that? Musical instrument in Bear's hand. He does the melody with it. I mean, the Fi-Fi. My family may be here somewhere, Cheppy.
Cheppy approached the giant bear and asked him where he found this harmonica. The bear said he found it on the way to the swamp.
We must go to the Bati Bati, Coco. Come on. What? Oh, you need to learn the forest language, Coco.
Cheppy and Coco quickly got on the Panther Muna, and they set out for the road to the swamp, namely to the Bati Bati. After a while, Coco heard his parents shouting, "Help! Is there anyone?"
Help! Help! Please help us!
That's my mom and dad's voice. We must hurry.
Panther Muna finally brought them to the edge of the swamp. Coco's mom and dad were indeed there, but they were buried in the swamp.
Mommy! Daddy!
Coco! No, Coco! There's There's a panther behind you!
Do not worry, we will help you.
Cheppy saw a monkey friend watching them curiously at the top of the tree.
Oh, Mei, can you throw me a long mapaya?
She asked him for a long and strong rope.
What does mapaya mean?
The monkey gave his strongest rope to Cheppy. The panther Muna, Cheppy, and Coco grabbed the end of this rope and threw the other end to Coco's family in the swamp. And they rescued them from the swamp with great effort. Coco immediately hugged his parents.
I was so scared that I would never see you again.
On the other hand, Cheppy was very happy to see this family together again. Aren't you going to introduce us to this weird-looking friend of yours, Coco?
She's not weird. She's a fairy with sparkly wings. A friend who is friendly with animals and can speak the forest language. I am very happy to meet you. I hope we meet again one day. Don't forget to wear your paka-pakas next time.
Cheppy jumped on the panther Muna and went away.
Goodbye, Coco. I mean, Starry Nights.
When Coco left the forest with his family, his mind was still on this enchanted forest. When he got home and entered his room, he came to his desk and wrote in his diary the words he had learned in the forest language, because he understood that to learn another language is to learn other lives.
Hoi!
Once upon a time, there was a father wolf who went out into the woods to hunt for his family. When in the woods, he suddenly heard a sound. Looking around, he noticed a tiny baby in between the bushes. "This is a human baby," said the wolf with a big surprise. He took the baby home out of harm's way. Watching from a distance, Shere Khan the tiger got very upset because he was the one who stole the baby from the humans. Mother Wolf and her cubs love this little baby very much. "We will call him Mowgli from now on," said Mother Wolf. From that day on, Mowgli started to live with his wolf siblings in the woods. Mother Wolf took very good care of him, like he was one of her own. In a short time, Mowgli became friends with all the animals. He played games and hung around the trees with them. At the same time, he got to know the jungle. During all that time, Shere Khan, the tiger, kept watching Mowgli from a distance and waited for an opportunity to grab and kidnap him. One day, the wise wolf Akela, Baloo the bear, and Bagheera the panther came together and started to talk about Mowgli.
Human babies are very smart. Let's bring him up like a jungle boy. Baloo and Bagheera, you will protect him and teach the rules of the jungle,
said Akela. Years went by fast. Baloo the bear was very attentive with his new student. He taught him how to look for nuts and honey, climbing the trees. Mowgli listened to Baloo's teaching with all ears. Every day he climbed a higher tree and started to feed himself. Baloo also taught him how to understand the sounds of the jungle. He was proud of his student. Mowgli was running very fast and swimming very good. And Bagheera taught him how to identify the traps humans set up for the animals and how to avoid them. One day, a cub wolf ran into one of these traps. Shere Khan the tiger wanted to hunt this cub wolf and make him his lunch. But acting before the tiger, Mowgli saved the cub from the trap. Shere Khan the tiger lost once again. Baloo also taught Mowgli the magic words he can use when there is danger in the jungle. In a very short time, Mowgli learnt these words by heart. Mowgli would not be harmed by any animal in the jungle. Realizing that he was not going to be able to catch Mowgli alone, Shere Khan went next to Banderlogs, the most dangerous animals in the jungle. He told them about Mowgli.
If Mowgli teaches us everything he knows, we'll become the wisest animals in the jungle.
One day, when Mowgli was making a shelter to protect himself from the storm, the Banderlogs were watching from where they were hiding. They decided to kidnap him when the opportunity came. At sunset, Mowgli was kidnapped by 2 monkeys and brought into the hills where the jungle was at its thickest. The little boy found himself in the middle of the Banderlogs. When Mowgli realized that he was kidnapped by the monkeys, he started to think. He had to reach Baloo and Bagheera and let them know. Suddenly, he noticed Chil the vulture flying up above in the sky. He remembered the magic words Baloo taught him. We are the same blood, you and I. Hearing these words, Chil the vulture immediately realized that Mowgli wasn't a stranger and that he was in trouble.
I'm little Mowgli! Could you let Baloo and Bagheera know that I'm kidnapped?
Of course I will, Mowgli, answered Chil the vulture, and flew off to deliver the message to Mowgli's friends. Banderlogs brought Mowgli to their cold cave, the Monkey Town. This place was a place in the deep jungle that humans abandoned years ago. Even though Mowgli attempted to run away, the Banderlogs outnumbered and caught him. Finding out about Mowgli's kidnapping, Baloo and Bagheera asked Kaa, the giant snake, for help to save Mowgli. They all came to the Monkey Town and hid behind a giant statue. From their hideout, they could see Mowgli and hundreds of monkeys around him. They started to wait for the perfect moment to take Mowgli out of there. At the right moment, Kaa said, "Now is the time, let's go." Bagheera silently moved to catch the monkeys. Then he started to punch the monkeys surrounding Mowgli with his powerful claws. Banderlogs ran around screaming with fear, and one of them called the others for help. Suddenly, Bagheera was surrounded with lots of monkeys. Some other monkeys grabbed Mowgli and put him in a room with closed walls. Mowgli could hear Bagheera fighting with the monkeys. He remembered the water storage under the ruins of the city, and he knew that the monkeys were afraid of water.
Bagheera, run and jump in the water!
Bagheera ran and jumped straight into the water. Baloo was also attacked by the monkeys. They started to fight, and Baloo was hitting the Banderlogs with his front claws to protect himself. He was trying his best, but there were too many of the Banderlogs, and it was impossible for Baloo to fight them by himself. And Bagheera was helplessly watching him from the water, feeling very bad that he could not help his friend. When Baloo was struggling with the monkeys, suddenly Kaa came out. When Kaa started to hit all the monkeys with his giant tail, the monkeys ran away with fear. The monkeys were always afraid of Kaa. None of them could face him in a fight. So when they started to run away in the depths of the jungle, Baloo was finally free. But when Kaa opened his mouth and blew, all the monkeys stood still. Their voices suddenly went away and it suddenly became all quiet. Taking this opportunity, Bagheera jumped out of the water. Mowgli yelled from the tower he was trapped in.
I am here, trapped in the tower!
Kaa swung his mighty tail and managed to break the walls of the tower. Freed from the walls, Mowgli threw himself out. Baloo hugged him with love.
You okay, Mowgli?
Yes, I am, but I'm very hungry and tired. You all have risked your lives to save me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Mowgli was also very happy to see Kaa on his side.
I owe you my life, Kaa. Thank you.
Mowgli, Baloo and Bagheera said goodbye to Kaa and head to their homes. Shere Khan, the tiger, realized that he could never harm someone who had such powerful friendships and moved back into the depths of the jungle, never to return. A long time passed and Mowgli grew up to become a young man. One day he went close to the village where humans lived. He met a woman who immediately recognized him. She realized that he was the son which was kidnapped by a tiger many years ago. She put the little boy next to her in Mowgli's arms. Mowgli was very surprised because this little boy was looking very much like Mowgli's own childhood. But then he also realized that this little boy was his brother and the lady was his mother. Baloo, Bagheera and Kaa were all watching them.
From now on, you'll be next to your family, Mowgli.
Whenever you need us, you know the magic words.
You are our brother. Don't forget how much we love you. Goodbye, dear Mowgli.
His friends said their farewells to Mowgli. Mowgli lived happily ever after with his family, but never did he forget the ones who raised him, his family in the jungle.